Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to decorate a burnaway cake. So this is a store-bought cake, so we're going to revamp and redecorate to make it all look pretty. Okay, so I flipped it over so I could get uh even edges, I guess, smooth edges. This is me just putting some pink buttercream on it. I had so much trouble with this buttercream because there was a lot of air bubbles. So I believe I had to scrape this one off and then I put it in the microwave for maybe 30 seconds and then re-whipped it and most of the air bubbles came out. In another clip you're going to see the darker shade of pink, and also not only the air bubbles, this color was the wrong shade of pink. So when I put it in the microwave, it got darker, which was what I wanted. So you can see here that I'm scraping it off. Yeah, just scrape. I think in the other clip, you'll see the darker shade. Yeah, so you see where it's darker and it's smoother. So here I'm just doing the final smoothing or the second layer of the buttercream. Excuse the messy turntable. It was because I had to scrape off the first layer of the buttercream. Yes, and now we're just scraping the edges, pulling it to the center to start piping afterwards. Okay, so here I already put on the edible image and I piped a border around it. For this I didn't use any fondant, I just used the edible image, peel the plastic part of the edible image and stick it on to the buttercream. And then I piped the shell borders. I forgot what piping tip I used to do this, but I'm doing the same thing that I did at the top to the bottom, and you want to make sure it's going into the same direction. And for the top piping, you want to make it high enough so that when you put on the wafer paper, it's not sticking to the frosting sheet. So here, it looks like I had a mishap with the bottom border, so I'm fixing that. Okay, so now that the bottom border is finished, we put on the wafer paper that we cut in a circle to match the circumference of our cake, which this is an 8-inch cake. Usually when I do the printing for the wafer paper, I use like a border, a guide, so I know where to cut. And I also, for precaution, I'll also place it over the cake to make sure I'm cutting it precisely. And then we do the final piping on top of the wafer paper to hide it and to keep it safe and secured. Okay, so I end up placing the cake in the fridge for a little bit because it was out for a while. Be sure to store your cake in a box with the cover when you're doing the burn away cake because the moisture will ruin the burn away effect. Okay, so now I'm basically finished. I'm just applying the last set of piping just to make it look neat around the edges because as you see I piped quite a bit of buttercream around it. Oh, and for the bottom, or for all the piping except the last one that I'm doing here, I use a Wilton 4B. And this is the final product, guys. Thank you for watching. And if you want to see a video of this, of a burn away effect, you can check out my page.